Well, in 2013, I quit my job as a pastor, and it was a dream job at a wonderful church. And I just had this moment that very day, the last day I was in the office. I took all of my last valuables from my office space, put them in the trunk of my little VW, and then went home. And it was like this very surreal, very tender moment of transitioning to home. I wasn't transitioning into another job, but when I got home and began to unpack my car, I just remember the moment when I lifted up my trunk and to grab some of the things, and there was my diploma, my Master's of Divinity diploma that was framed, that was once center in my pastor's office, with my full name, John Pierce Freeman, on it. And what was interesting was the diploma was cockeyed. In the the short ride home, it had gotten misaligned. It had lost its hold in its frame, and it was just a moment for me that I was experiencing loss, even though I had chose that. It was just this moment where I paused and I realized that a part of my identity was no longer there. And I had taught about identity in Christ, to teenagers and to adults for years and years and years. But I felt like that was the first moment that I began to experience my identity, not just know who I am in Christ through the gospel. So, I think of that and it's like my full name, which I like. My full name was given such credential by this institution. It hung on my wall. It represented something. And, I think we like our names. It represents who we are. And sometimes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but sometimes like when I sign a check, I'll pretend that I'm like signing an autograph. Like that's what our name really is to us. And so my name, was now sort of in a different, it was situated differently. It was framed almost, it felt wrong. My professional life was in a sense over. Yet in that nothingness, there was something. There was something. And this is what I have to share. Hopefully this can be even your morning thought if you like it to be. But in that nothingness, there was actually something. It's a fascinating story. In Luke 10, Jesus sends out 70, workers for him. And he said something to them, setting them up in their departure. He said, don't wear any sandals. Don't take a money bag. I want you to only go in my name. I want you only to go in my authority and my power. He sent them out in peace. And he said, your words will be my words. Just so you know, you will be rejected. And if you're rejected, move on. The people had this incredible experience. They were healing people. They were casting out, demons, and they were doing all this wonderful work in the authority of Christ. And verse 17 says they came back exhilarated. They had such success. The spirits were subjected to them. People were rescued. People were healed. And Jesus said this. And these are the words that I heard, I think, when I opened up the trunk of my little car. Jesus said, "Do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven." Rejoice that your names are written in the book of life. Rejoice that your name is now hidden in my name, Jesus says to us. And that's really experienced in the midst of brokenness. Just even them not having their money bags, not having all the things they need. Jesus calls us into this deeper life of experiencing divine joy by seeing that our name is actually framed in something much better, much bigger than this world can offer. Our name, our full name, is reframed in the book of life. And man, I tell you what, this is not something to just know about or have this intellectual assent or agreement in. This is something to sit with and to agree with and to receive. And that usually, brokenness is close by. It just is. And I've seen this for years and years, working with people, walking with people. And yet there's a true joy that emerges. My life and my heart are now hidden in Christ's name. My name, is within his name. So that's something I wanted to offer to my friends, to you this morning. And my encouragement simply is to reframe your name. And perhaps you want to read a few different chapters that I love with this in mind. A slow meditative read of Ephesians 3, Colossians 3, and Philippians 3 all address this. And maybe this will cause us to live with a joy, a rejoicing that is beyond being right, beyond being the best, beyond being successful in work, in ministry. And man, I think our world needs this, doesn't it? It truly does. So may you be blessed by these words, and may you not rejoice in anything but the fact that your names are written in the book of life.